we made history with the election of President Barack Obama. He called us to service as there remains much work to do to end unemployment, poverty, and crime in our communities. There's so many books on how we can accomplish this. But this year, everyone's raving about this summer's hottest new book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America by Chicago's own Emmanuel Barbee. A graduate of Northeastern Illinois University, Barbee addresses key ways we back our families and communities. But unlike so many other books on this topic, Barbee captivates his reader, presenting solutions through a riveting life story. It's entertaining, it's different, it's exciting. The perfect book club selection. Don't be left out. Get your copy of The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Order today at Amazon.com.
Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos is an extension of the grassroots community activist movement. I use this podcast as a platform for people on my friends list and for people in my social groups who want to promote their products and services, for church leaders to share their ministries, and for ordinary, law-abiding citizens who would like to share their special talents and skills with my listeners from the podcast community. I created GRCAM, which is a virtual Christian socialist organization, back in November 1991 on a site called Gopher, because I was dissatisfied with all of the division taking place among black people. I wanted to start a new movement in Black America in order to connect with other like-minded progressive African Americans, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Canadians, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Europeans, African immigrants, and Native Africans throughout the African diaspora. Both my Christian groups and my secular groups represents the grassroots community activist movement. We welcome all Christian denominations, moderate Muslims, secular people, and non-black sympathizers. This is an authentic black organization first and foremost. Our objective is to solve black issues once and for all in America and eventually throughout the African diaspora. Tonight we're doing a special edition entitled Black Business Affair. For black business owners on my friends list to participate in this Facebook Live event. Before I open up my webinar to my guest speakers, I want to explain to my listeners the purpose of these online events. I hold these free webinars in order for me to interact with people on my friends list and people in my social groups as a networking opportunity for everyone that's on my friends list. My goal for the grassroots community activist movement this year is to take my virtual Christian socialist organization to the next level by turning my revised book into an urban Christian film entitled Hood Liberator, Made in Chicago, The War Against Willie Lynch Begins. I am just waiting on the IRS to send me a letter of to confirm that stating that they recognize my nonprofit as a legitimate 501c3 organization. Then I can open up a business account and begin soliciting angel investors and sponsors to help invest into my film project. I will use the funds to hire professional film crew and quality actors. I believe my film will reach the masses, and through the film I will earn $500 million in grants and corporate sponsorships in order for me to carry out all of the things which I have written in my revised book. My Christian business, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute, will take the lead in recruiting quality black professionals who are passionate about helping ambitious black entrepreneurs in order for them to grow their businesses, achieve their economic goals and build a pipeline of eager clients. My future business is not complacent. We will take responsibility for our own success. Join the grassroots community activist movement for entrepreneurs who are passionate about their business, ambitious, and positioning themselves for the global market. Although my virtual Christian socialist organization only exists online for the time being, I am still trying to do something positive for my racial group, African Americans / Black Americans, through my free webinars online until I'm able to generate enough capital from my revised book and my future film, or my future hybrid documentary. Then I will be in a better position financially to carry out everything which I have written. I am online to recruit, inform, and to promote my vision to those who will listen. I agree with ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, that reparation for the from the American government should be paid to African Americans / Black Americans for their mistreatment we face in the United States. The best example is the Eric Garner verdict. Truth be told, the financial elites are not going to give African Americans any reparation because for 400 years we still don't have equal protection under the law. Black Americans have been marching and protesting in the United States for 52 years and still institutionalized racism, social inequality, and police brutality continues. I offer something that no black leader has in America, and that is a solution to solve all of our social problems within the United States if given a chance. I don't have another 27 years to waste. This Willie Lynch mentality within the black culture is just as bad as white supremacy in our society. I believe once Sister Renee and I start making money, then everyone will come out of the woodwork to want to work with us. Mark my words. We will only assist single black families that want to utilize our programs and services. I will incorporate the same values and events I use online in my real business. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute will be at the table to address and solve important issues, including safety and security, education, and providing private employment to our members based on our budget and sponsorship. After 15 years of being rejected, humiliated, and ignored by established black organizations in the city of Chicago, I decided to write and publish my story, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition, in hopes of attracting 30 black middle-class professionals within the United States to join my management team in order for me to make this business effective and successful for years to come. I want black middle-class professionals who have the following credentials, which are, I'm looking for investors, business partners, Christian entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. I'm also looking for legitimate film producers, actors, stage managers, grant writers, or fundraisers, technical directors, marketers, accountants, business administrators, social workers, financial planners, lawyers, real estate brokers, and insurance agents. I have my articles of incorporation and my bylaws typed and available for my nonprofit cooperative. I also have my articles of organization typed and available for my for-profit service-based business. Yet to add insult to injury, I still, to this day, don't have anyone on my management team. The only thing which is preventing me from turning my virtual Christian socialist organization into a real business is the lack of manpower and the capital. This is why I turned to social media to get my message out to the public. through my YouTube videos, my social groups, my blog postings, my online talk show, my revised book, and now through my upcoming urban Christian film, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago. This is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. It's not my burden alone, but rather a shared burden, for I am just one black man with a plan and a vision. It takes a team to make a dream work. GRCAM is a global community of thinkers and builders. I need your help to move GRCAM from behind a computer into our urban communities that need our talents and skills. I believe this open platform is essential to the African American community and throughout the African diaspora. I want to earn credibility through my Christian organization first, before we expand to 10 African nations. I want my international friends who live in Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Angola, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Uganda to encourage your governments to allow us to have citizenships within 3 years if you are serious about us doing business on the African continent. We as black people must move away from being tribal. Please encourage your families and friends who reside in Canada, Europe, and in the United States to purchase my revised book, and also for you to read my story as well. Be in agreement with me that my book will get on the bestsellers list by the end of this year, in Jesus' name. My book is the foundation of my future Christian business. Those who agree with my plan or vision, make yourself known to me. I provide all my contact information in my book. This will help speed up the process for us to recruit brave and smart African immigrants in America to assist me in setting up chapters in Africa. We will go through the proper channels with their government to start our NGO, non-government organization. We will offer private employment to our members based on our budget and sponsorship. We will provide infrastructure for clean running water, agricultural technology to feed the people, offer solar energy to help our members with their electric generators, and most of all, help improve the African economy, as well as educate the people about the problems with capitalism and show them an alternative. GRCAM. In time, we will expand to Brazil and Pacific places in the Caribbean, such as Barbados, Bahamas, Haiti, and Jamaica. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Africa will be an effort to assist the diaspora in the ability to shop with, visit, invest in, and relocate back to Africa. All of our products and services would be provided by skilled and professional Africans from around the continent. Before the internet, connecting with business on the African continent had been a challenge, but now, more than ever, it's imperative for the diaspora to make the connection physically and economically. GRCAM of Africa will be there to help arrange your travel, welcome you upon arrival, and assist with tours, translators, and more. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute would be a membership base. Everyone will be screened and must attend our mandatory orientation and sign a community pledge, no exceptions. No hardened criminals, no active gang members, no urban terrorists, no pedophiles, and no house-steppers allowed in my organization. This is how I get down. This is my contribution back to my community, society, and throughout the African diaspora. This is more than just a new business endeavor, it's a new system. Without further ado, I'm opening up this webinar to my guest speakers for this evening, which are the following: Evangelist Amanda Matthews, Prophetess B.B. Watson, Psalmist Paulette Triplet, and Apostle Pam Lee. Alright, we have Evangelist Amanda Matthews from Arkansas, who's going to tell us a little bit about her business and even her ministry. So you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, Emmanuel, and those of you who are tuning in on the podcast this evening. My name is Evangelist Amanda Matthews, and it is a pleasure to be here on the podcast today. First of all, I would like to tell everyone out there a little bit about me and my ministry. I am a freelance writer, psalmist, poet, praise and worship leader, author, and evangelist or minister of the written word. I have been a freelance writer for over 25 years, in which I have been writing Christian literature for the past 17 years. I'm an author of 2 books that can be purchased from Amazon, in which I will mention that information in a little while. I have 3 more projects that are scheduled to be released later this year and early in 2020. I am working on a book of prayers, a second poetry book, and a script for an online Christian show. I write music, lyrics, and songs for meditation, healing, praise, and worship. I minister in song, and I have written poems and songs based on prophecy. I am the founder of Virtuosity Ministries, in which I have founded this ministry to evangelize and spread the word of God through the literary sector. For those of you who are not familiar with the word virtuosity, it simply means great skill or expertise in music or another artistic pursuit. In my case, it is writing. I use music, songs, poems, articles, and stories to glorify the kingdom of God. My ministry is a writing ministry that has been around for at least 10 years, and I have also been known as a prophetic scribe or writer. Through this platform, I plan to continue to represent Jesus Christ and spread the word of God through literature. Through Virtuosity Ministries, I want to break the barriers of hate that I have seen in many different forms. This is a love ministry in which I hope to spread the love of God and show people that even in the world of hate, there can be love. In the past, I have helped the homeless. Even until this day, I still serve those in need. God's direct instructions to me was to go where I was needed. So in this case, whoever I'm there to give a hand in other ministries, organizations, and missions. Soon to come is a new organization of LLC, the Emancipation and Liberation of All People, or ELOA. ELOA will be here to serve all people that may have trouble with dealing with healing on many levels. I believe that my life experiences has put me in a position to help those that are dealing with hurt, pain, and brokenness, and I believe that through this organization and platform, I can help people heal and get their lives back on track. ELOA will be a healing ministry that will serve people from all walks of life. I am here to serve those regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, creed, sexual orientation, disability, or religion. This organization will serve others without discrimination. The whole idea of a love and healing ministry is to spread love God's way. We all know that poverty, sickness, brokenness, and life issues affect all people. There is so much hate and discrimination, but there are others like myself that believe that God does not hate or discriminate against his people. Therefore, my ministry is for every man, woman, and child, but I do place a bigger emphasis on children and teenagers. With that being said, for those that want to know more about my ministries, there are a myriad of ways that you can get in contact with me. You can reach me at Amanda Matthews on Facebook, Arthur Mandy on Twitter. You can find me on Blogger, Medium, Instagram, WordPress, or you can contact me through my email, which is lm5741937@gmail.com. If you are interested in purchasing my books, please check on Amazon and look for Inspired by the Father. It's available for $7.95. The ebook is available for $5.95. And In the Hands of God is available in paperback for $5.95, and all of that is on Amazon. And I just want to thank you, Emmanuel, for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. It is a pleasure to be a part of this movement. Once again, I am Evangelist Amanda Matthews, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening.
I would like for you to continue to stay on the line, okay?
Okay.
All right. This is Apostle Pam Lee from Nevada. So go ahead, tell my listeners who you are and about your business.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barbee. I really appreciate it. Hello, everyone. My name is Pamela Walton. I am the owner and CEO of PAM, the Insurance Lady Coaching Services Incorporated. It's located and based out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And basically, just to give you a rundown of my background and pretty much qualifies me to offer the services that I do, I have about 17 years of experience in healthcare revenue cycle management. Started humbly off as a healthcare collector and worked my way up into management. I oversaw teams that pretty much did follow-up and billing for healthcare claims. So basically, once you've been in a doctor's office or hospital or whatever service provider was, our job was to bill the claims to your insurance carrier and follow up until closure. About 2015, I made a switch just because of some personal transitions in my life, and I've always wanted to have my own business, so I decided to kind of engage in getting my insurance licenses, in which I am currently licensed in about 47 states right now, doing health insurance consulting and coaching. And basically, my motto is that I coach you to financial health. Basically, we offer a wide array of different health products, everything that covers those who are age 2 weeks up until in their 80s and 90s. When it comes to healthcare, what a lot of people don't realize is that health insurance, as we know it today, is not inclusive of everything that you need to ensure that you're properly protected. Health insurance alone is not enough. Statistics shows us that 2/3 of bankruptcies in the United States is due to medical debt. And you would think it would be something else like credit cards or some other type of debt, but in actuality, it's medical debt. And the reason is that a great number of Americans are unaware of the importance in filling in what I call gaps in their healthcare services. So what I do is sit down and mostly do phone consultation to make it convenient for the client as well as myself. I set up initial 20-minute consultations just to get an idea of what they already have and identify and do a needs analysis to see what gaps they have that I can fill. Most oftentimes I find that the major gaps is in making sure they have things in place. God forbid a catastrophic event happens, like a onset of a diagnosis like cancer or heart attack or stroke, completely throws them into a whirlwind of financial debt, because oftentimes it happens suddenly. So you have to think about health insurance just like you do car insurance. You hope you never have to really use it, but you have to have everything in place in case something happens to protect you and your family. Oftentimes people are using up their 401k, what they saved up for retirement, to try to cover bills that are not covered by their health insurance. The co-insurance and deductibles and non-covered costs can end up being very astronomical. One hospital visit alone can leave a person having and owing hundreds, if not tens of thousands of dollars in debt. So my job is, as a professional insurance agent, consultant, is to educate my clients, everyone that I come in contact with. For me, it's not just so much about making a sale in numbers. It's about educating and consulting each and every person individually to make sure they have what they can afford. It's giving them the best value and protection at the same time. So I only not look out for your front end dollar. I'm looking out for you on the back end. So I offer things such like, for those who are 0 to 65 years of age, health insurance plans on the federal marketplace. Those who may, there are some people, and oftentimes a lot of people don't realize they qualify for tax subsidies and assistance to help lower their cost shares, like their co-pays and deductibles, as well as their family size and family income could qualify them for a nice portion of subsidy to help offset their monthly premiums. So when you don't know and you don't understand, you're left paying, more than what you need to, or you're, like I said, you have gaps that you're not aware of until something happens and then panic sets in, and it's no reaction time. So to avoid all that, I educate about having things like, indemnity plans, like hospital indemnity plans. If you're hospitalized, this will be money that's paid to you. So while you're off from work or can't work because of injury or sickness, you have a means of money coming in upon putting your claim in that you can use to help pay for your mortgage, pay for your car note, keep food on the table while you're focused on getting well. If you're diagnosed with things like a cancer or a stroke or heart attack, there's different plan levels that you can opt into that will pay you a lump sum money. We're talking anything from $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25, $30,000 in a lump sum payment on a first diagnosis. What I also tell people is even if there is like cancer that runs in the family or a history of different diseases that run in the family, that is a trigger. Not that we're wishing and hoping nothing happens, but some people are more susceptible to certain type of diseases, and so you have all these products out there that people don't take a part in to protect themselves. So that's what my job is. I work with an array of different carriers in Medicare. Also, I do Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplemental plans. I do, of course, the marketplace plans, and I also do, dental, vision, life insurance, whole life, as well as final expense. So overall, my goal and my mission is to be a one-stop shop for those who I come in contact with, and I'm constantly looking for ways that I can assign with good carriers that offer good products, so that if there's a need, my job is what I'm at least trying to do is making sure I have something in my arsenal of products and services that I can, offer my clients and potential clients